to Chatting Bubbles. I'd like to apologise for not putting any content out for the last few months. Some of you may have heard and some of you may have not have heard. The last koi show we went to, the Coventry show, Mason had a really bad injury. He was only there for the match of 20 minutes. And we had to take Mason to A&E. The BKKS, the staff, absolutely appalling. No interest at all. It was a bad gash across his forehead, and it has disheartened me. And Andy from Koi Pond Lifestyle, I've heard, has been banned from the BKKS shows, and I'd like to just share this little video and say to the BKKS, it's us YouTubers that do free advertising for you in your shows. We dedicate ourselves to videoing not just the koi, the stalls and all the koi tubers and all the visitors. It's us that advertise the show for free, and we put a lot of hours, a lot of time and a lot of effort to make that show better for you, and for you to be so disgraceful, not just to a fellow YouTuber, but to me, my wife and Mason, after coming to the event. I'm saying no more about it. Absolutely disgusted with it completely. So upwards and onwards with Copeys Koi Chatting Bubbles. I'd like to thank you all very much, all my old subscribers and new subscribers. And if you're new, welcome to Copeys Koi Chatting Bubbles, and I hope you enjoy the videos. Yeah, welcome back to Copeys Koi. This is the day after the BKKS. Unfortunately, it ended up as a disaster for Mason. For legal reasons, I can't explain it, but Mason ended up in A&E. Enough said about that. So, what am I doing today? As you all know, just turn my light on, I'm having problems with the Nexus overflowing. So I removed 11 litres of media out the centre. This has been 4 days. I've turned the water pressure down to 50% on the Verdi pump. Nowhere near the top. What I want to try and do is it's due now for the flush, as you can see the build up. It's not overflowing at the moment, but I want to flush it through now, give it a clean. What I want to try and do is put it up to 60% and see what happens at 60%, see if it can cope with it. As you can see, like the media eye on the lid jet, it is rising, so I'm going to give it a flush. I've just turned the pump up to 100%. Just to try and purge some of the crap out of the pond and to fill this chamber up quicker. And then I'll drop it down to, what I decided to do is raise it by 5% each time I clean it. So I'm going to go from 50% to 55%. Change the pump settings, like I say, from 50% to 55. Leave that till I clean it next time and see how long that lasts. Then 60%. And I'm quite happy to leave it at 60% if I can. The whole idea of this pump, being where it is to suck the water quicker from a shorter distance. On 100%, that's what I wanted, 10,000 litres an hour. So by dropping it down to 50-60% to me is defeating the object, but if that's what I've got to do, it's what I've got to do. But it just seems to be working a level lot better now with 11 litres of media out the centre. I think it's been about 4 days, something like that. 4 or 5 days maybe. So I'll write it down today and then I'll check it and see how long it is taking. What a numpty. I've had it on 100% trying to fill the centre, and I've left the valve open, emptying it. So I've been draining my pool. Old age, whatever you want to call it, and me being a twat. Anyway, I've now turned it down to 55%. I don't know whether it's just me, but that looks like it's got more of a flow now. Putting it on 100% gear to flush has helped it out. And you've probably noticed I've scrubbed all the fly larvae off. I'm a bit like Dave from Eden Koi, can't stand it being dirty. I've also cleaned the rim around the filter, just standing here watching me filter. We all keep saying that we're all too clean, getting the water too clean for the fish, but I'm just thinking all that stuff that's hanging around your filters and in your filters, surely it's got to attract bacteria. And you know the problems I've had with bacteria, so I've scrubbed all the larvae. No, there's all larvae in the pond anyway, and in the green filter, no doubt. So what am I up to now? What I want to try and do now, I've got to find the part I've ordered. T-piece connector. So what I want to do is, the retro bottom drain, I need to feed the pipe from there to my air pump. I've also got, at the moment I've got 4 stones in my Nexus running off that pump, and I've got 3 stones in the pond running off that pump. So what I want to do is connect the retro bottom drain up to that air pump, and I also want to put this back onto the air pump, just so I can run the 4 stones that I'm in the Nexus. I also run a separate one for when I'm doing any treatment, so when you just drop an air stone in the bucket, I'll just use that if and when, and I'll flick it on and show you where that pipe is. It runs up through there. It's running at the moment. I've got some more of that in there. I don't know whether that stone will help. The plant doesn't look like it's doing that. The black part was already dead, but you can see green coming through it now. I'll just change that water every couple of days from out the pond. Get some water out the pond, fresh water out the pond. So what I'm going to do, get my lid back on, tidy up in here, get these fittings down, and then I'll show you what I'm trying to do. As you know, what I like to try and do, I like to try and prepare things that I need before I disconnect the apparatus that I'm either changing, swapping, or adding, or taking away. This particular time I can't, as I've only got one rubber hose which is connected to the pump, so I've had to turn everything off, air pump wise, in the pond. So I'm going to flick it around there and I'm going to show you what I'm going to try and do. So as you can see now, this rubber hose there, that'll fit to the air pump. I'm going to connect it to the T-piece. The T-piece then will go to a valve, so I can adjust how much air I want into the retro bottom drain aerator. And then the idea of the T-piece is I want to reconnect that, so I've got the spare valve or the spare air stone for when I'm using PP, or for whatever reason I need it. It's always a spare airline there, and then I might just tee off one of them for the 4 stones that I'm actually running in my Nexus. And the idea of that is when I turn my air over to the centre, why am I showing you that? When I turn my air over to bubble up the centre of my Nexus, I've still got 4 little air stones running, turning the media just slightly. That's just what I've always done anyway, so that's what I want to continue doing. So I want to try and set all this up. I'll join it all together. You've all seen things like that before. I'll join these together the best I can, and then I'll bring it back and show you how it looks. It's took me probably an hour and a half, believe it or not, to try and sort this out. That's how long the air pump's been off. As you can see now, that'll connect to my pump, my air lines to my air stones. I'm just waiting for that pipe in the hot water to soften up. That's going to go on the end of that, onto that reducer, and then my air line will fit onto that pipe to my retro bottom drain. This is how far we've got so far. As you can see, I'm now back in the filter house. I've got the pump up there, I've got everything rigged up. What I'm trying to do now, I want to try and bring the air pump down here so I can get access to the valves, so I can adjust them when I went, rather than keep stretching all over there. As you can see, I've got my other air pump there for the Nexus. What I'm going to do now, I've got this cable, it's only a short cable, down to there. I'm just going to disconnect the plug, poke the wire behind that shelf where the blue pipe is, and down through there and back into there. Oh, better if I show you. Down through there and into there, and then connect it up and see if it works. At last I've got it up and running. What an absolute ball, like. All them Jubilee clips plus another toolbox I've got full. You think I get Jubilee clips to fit? Oh god, what an absolute nightmare. But anyway, there she blows. Absolutely brilliant. And hopefully if I turn that down, sorry about the camera work, trying to do it quickly. There you go, I'll adjust it now. That probably looks round about right. A lot of faffing. I thought it'd take probably about an hour. It's now 10 to 3. I think I started about 1 o'clock. Just trying to find things, bits to fit other things. It don't mean a thing if it don't fit that thing. Catch you later. My feeder went off at 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 10 past 9. I've just throwed a little cupful in and I'm still ganneting it down. Can't believe the difference in my fish since we lost Goldie. Whether they knew there was something wrong with him or what, I don't know. But now they're my piranhas. Absolutely fantastic to see. That was close. Just lost the feeling in my leg and had a bad fall, but I'm alright. I want to flick you around and show you what I'm up against again. So it's only been a few days. I'm putting chemicals in, as I've said before, to get rid of the algae. I've got 2 pumps running, 2 10,000 pumps running. This one here, as you know, I've turned it down by a tap. The amount of algae, it's just getting crazy. And I can't keep emptying the pool, emptying the filter, sorry. Can't keep emptying the filter of water and topping the water back up. I'm doing the Nexus every 3 days, and this seems to be doing this every 3 days. And it's getting too much. I just start getting the proper water in my pond. So I've come up with, you can probably see the pipe on there, I've connected that up to my hoover. Put a net on the end to catch the algae. So what I'm going to try and do is suck the green algae out of there. Now, are they going to be able to film it and show you? I don't think. What I'll do, I'll just turn it on now and I'll show you what happens when I suck that. I can hear me. Stop the hoover, they'll fall in the pond. Oh, I can't put that out there. Okay, so sorry about that. So you can see how quick that's cleaning that jack matting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hoover all that out, hoover as much as I can out the brushes, and get the long pipe into the bottom of there and suck that out, so I ain't losing all the best water. Well, as you know, on Copeys Koi, I like to challenge myself on things to try and make things easier and better. Unfortunately, I've got majority of it out. but as you can see how it's turned it all up in all 3 chambers, and you can still see it, chunks of it in the matting. And now I've got the pump flowing. I don't think you can actually see that. You can actually see the algae now going back into the pool where the day want it. So that day works. So what I'm doing, I've took the brushes out, I've washed them in the filter. I'm going to do the same with the matting while it's full. Then I'm going to leave it for about half an hour to settle, and then over the bottom. But I'll get back here after half an hour to see how it has settled. Now you've all seen crud before. You can tell by the reflection, the colour of the water, as you'd expect. There's the matting. Brush has all been cleaned off. I'm just going to give that half an hour to settle. And well, see if it settles within half an hour. But my water now is going proper yucky da. So I'm back again. Again, you won't tell by the reflection. It's been a good hour. So I'm just going to get the hoover in and get as much gunk out the bottom as I can. Oosh. That, as you can see, was an absolute ball like, and I've still ended up with the water all over the grass where Mason's playing. But I want that to go back in the pond. I don't think you can see the sack there catching the green, because the net ain't far enough to catch the green that's in it. It's catch some of it, you can see it in the bag, but not enough, so I've left it to go back on the garden. And the whole idea of that is it ain't perfect. As you can tell, I've only lost half the water instead of the full amount. So it was a 50% success, which I suppose is better than nothing. Well, I've got the hoover out now, I'm going to try and get it in the pond. The only downfall is, now I've not got the 10,000 running in the deep end, the water's starting to cloud up. Have I done the right thing swapping it all over? I really don't think I have. But until you try these things, you'll never find out. What I've decided to do, I'm struggling either way. So, I've got my nylon brush, which is only used for my pond, and I've brushed all the side walls. Probably going to disturb something, but it's got to be done. You can see by looking at the fish the amount of crap that's in that pond, and I just can't get on top. No matter what chemical I'm putting in, I just can't get on top, and every time I flush my filter out, I'm just diluting the chemical that I'm putting in, so I'm just defeating the object either way. And I've never had the green filter running before, and I can't understand why I'm struggling with it. I've now got, for now, the 10,000 running on 10,000 straight through. I just hope it don't overflow, but I'm maybe Mason. How you feeling, mate?
Good.
After your accident? Let me say hello to everybody.
Hello.
There you go, as you know, he had a bad bang at the BKKS. But he's doing alright. He's supposed to play at the Wolves ground today, football with his football team. He's lost 5 days in the playground at school and 5 days football with his team, so not an happy bunny, but it is what it is. He's alright, are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm always alright.
There you go, he's always alright. Well, welcome back to Copeys Koi Chatting Bubbles. Yesterday I cleaned the green filter out using the hoover. The water's gone a bit gloopy, if that's the word for it. I'll flick it down, it looks like it's going a little bit greenish. So for months now, like many people with koi this year, and having a lot of problems with the algae. Cleaning out the filters, you're getting past a joke. It's probably 18 weeks, 20 weeks now doing it. So what I decided yesterday was to brush the liner. And I left the pump on full on the green filter for probably about 3.5 hours yesterday, and then obviously turn it down because I was concerned about it overflowing last night. I've just come up to check all the fish are all doing good. used 3 containers of clover leaf, which I only ever normally use 1, and that's always worked a treat for me. But I've used 3 this year already, and I've also had another tub off Rob Walker, and I've used half of that at the moment, and I'm still struggling with algae. So for the last few days I've been struggling again with green water. So what I've decided to try is this product. I ain't sponsored by them. I'll flick around and show you the water. I know loads of people are suffering with it. People from West Brom and Copeys are saying, and a few friends who've not got YouTube channels are suffering with it. So this one treats 6,000 gallons. Just throw it in the water and let it do its stuff. Check it out tomorrow and see how it's working. Well, see if it's working. Chatting bubbles. I've just walked up the garden. Need a shave again. Just had a walk up, said to the missus, I need to clean the green filter out. I've seen some big birds in my life. Feathered type. And other types. And I've just walked around the pool. I'm going to flick you down there. If you don't like these sort of things, look away. I ain't got a clue what size bird has dropped that. I don't know whether you can see it. It's actually pebble dashed the complete lid, and it's also pebble dashed all up the fence. I don't know whether you can actually catch that on camera, but I ain't got a clue what size bird could do that. I'm just hoping it's not an heron, but I've not seen one, if I'm honest. Turn you away from it, you don't want to see it. Never seen nothing like that in my life before, and I just thought I've got to add that on, see if anybody knows any birds. With the fish are all doing absolutely fine. You hear this time and time again that the cameras really do give the size justice. I've had a lot of growth. I've had some food off Dave, and it seems to be working a treat. Some colours in the fish that I was losing. I don't know whether that's down to the food, and a lot of growth. You can probably tell yourself the size of the fish, the way they're growing, and the plant I had off Tony Barker. He's grown absolutely beautiful. The ones over there in the little tub not doing as well, but I think it's because they're too deep. The grass is doing quite well. But I've had to turn my water feeder off. My water feeder off. I'll just flick you around quickly. For all you that have seen my channel before, you'll understand. For them who don't, my auto feed is actually inside my filter house, because when they're outside they get damp. The feed tends to, depending what feeder, the feed tends to get stuck to the tray, clogging it. So I decided to put it inside my filter house, and the large spout there with the little elbow on the end is the chute for the feed to go down. Now I've lost almost a full tub of pellets as the pipe keeps blocking. Now I've got a wire, I don't know whether you call it a cable, you use it for your sink, you twist it round, it gets air out the bathroom and whatnot. I've got one of them with a foam on it, and I parked that down. Never thought of putting a bucket underneath it. It all went in the water, had to net it all out. Last time I did it, I'll show you my pretty face. Last time I did it, I put a bucket underneath and caught it, and there was almost half a tub, believe it or not, stuck in the pipe. I've got a sponge on it. I bent the wire up with a sponge, tried to clean it, and the smell that come off that sponge was horrendous. I've turned the feeder off, I've not used it, I'm feeding by hand. I need to get that pipe off and clean it out. Thing is, as you all know, it's the kids' 6 weeks holiday. I've got Mason, he's my priority. Today I'm just going to give me filter a clean. So I'll just give a quick update I had problems with the filter system not working with my retro bottom drain. The water down look is crystal clear today. It's a bit murky, but I've just turned the big filter off. As you can see, it's over there ready to get it clean. The water was green. I bought a bag with sachets in, 3 sachets for 3,000 gallon. I put it in, impatient, waited the next day and it was still green, so I threw all 6 in and it had cleared up. Like I say, we've all got these showers that's making the water up, and I've just turned that filter off. So the 10,000 pump I've got in the deep end, I've been having that up on full, as I've just got, as you know, I've got the valve, shut off valve there to control it. I've had it on full because the water's been so bad. The Nexus filter, what I've done with the Nexus filter is I took 11 litres of K1 out the centre, as it was blocking up every 2 to 3 days and it was just getting ridiculous changing the water so often. So I took 11 litres out to try it. I dropped the pump down to 50%, and I think the turnover of that water and not having the green filter on at full, it was causing the water to be as cloudy as what it was, plus obviously overfeeding, or heavy feeding I should say, through the season for the growth and the colour. I've now left the 11 litres out. That's running fine. I've got it on 60% at the moment, and I've left it on that now. That's been a week. It's due for the clean. Like I say, I've had Mason. You know what kids are like, get bored so quick. I just had a chance to do it. That's why I'm doing the green filter today. I've been out with him this morning over the park so I can play with his mates. Football, he's got football practice later on today. I just thought I'd do a quick video and a quick update, so you know what I'm up to. A bottom, chatting bubbles. A bottom big enough to release that. Oh dear. There's been a few people sending messages out asking if I'm okay. As you know by watching this last video, it's late coming, and like I said earlier on, it disheartens you. But I'd like to apologise to all the subscribers and all the people that watch the videos. I hope you've enjoyed the video. This is an old video, as you can tell, but look out for the next video where the Black Country Boys go on tour to visit Copeys in Wales, South Wales. So look out for that one. If you enjoyed the video, please share it, subscribe if you don't mind, and as always, don't forget to polish our thumb. You know you want to, folks. Until next time.
That's all, cupcakes.